Okay, okay. Well, late good evening, late midnight good evening to you, audience. This is your soul brother Talib coming at you. I just got done doing a over 2 year. Excuse me, I'm tongue tied. I apologize. I just got done doing a over 2 hour live panel with brother Talik and our sister Karen, who sometimes comes on our platform as well. And so I'm kind of even tired from that, but I thought to add a little extra more input from what was discussed in our topic tonight, which it wasn't as related to the topic that we were discussing. But however, what we was discussing during that topic live panel was, in fact, and this is a message even to those in the Pan-African community as well as the pro-black conscious community. And I would say that if you actually did go to Africa, as you claim you want to do, but continuously procrastinate on the ideal of going to Africa in a lot of cases, I would say that let's say 44 plus million of us as indigenous black Americans ended up going over to Africa, even if we were forced out of America where we wouldn't have no choice to do so, or if we just went over there on our own as 44 million, let's just say. Well, the reason I want to speak on this topic because you know, with the way that indigenous black Americans treat each other, in spite of all of what we've been through here in this country as a people for over 400 years, with the racism, of course, which started with the slavery as well, and, the Jim Crow, segregation, the gerrymandering, the black codes, mass incarceration, racial profiling, stop and frisk, police brutality, and all this other crap that we've been going through. In spite of all that, and including lynchings, I didn't want to leave that out. But in spite of all that, we still treat each other horrible. We still treat each other just the same way that the pink races do. Although we have a different skin color, but we still have his same mindset, you know. And we talk to each other horribly and disrespectfully, especially among those of us who don't know how to talk to each other or communicate to each other, just like in the case of how the racists don't know how to talk to black people in this country, particularly referring to those of us as indigenous black Americans. And, we're no different than our slave master. And that also, you know, contributes to the fact of why, indigenous black Americans treat each other the way that we treat each other. Now, with that said, you know, going back to my point, let's say 44 million of us, I'm not talking about in individual groups or just as individuals, but I'm talking about as the whole. 40 plus some million of us actually did go to Africa, anywhere in the continent of Africa, especially in the black parts of Africa, where we claim there's so much love our people. But of course, as you know, as time is proven, even up to this present point, that they don't really care nothing about us. Now, of course, they gonna smile in your face when you come over there with your money and stuff and give them your money like they did last year, what was it, in 2019 with that big scam that Ghana had put on far as the return back to Ghana and, campaign. And of course, we seen how that panned out where all these black Americans or other blacks in the diaspora who traveled to Ghana, and especially those of us as indigenous black Americans, that included some of our well-known celebrities like Jay-Z, Beyonce, T.I., and Tiny, and the list goes on, and I think even a couple few of our known voices and so-called black YouTube, like Dr. Boyce Watkins, even went over there, and along with the rest, gave up $2 billion. Simply gave away $2 billion with nothing to show for it. Didn't give us no incentive in no type of way. No type of way did any type of incentive come out of that, especially for black Americans here in the United States. So the question is why did you go over there anyway? You might as well have never went over there. You know what I'm saying? We should have got something up out of that. At least with the government of Ghana allowing us all a quick path to citizenship for those of us that choose to go over there or are able to go over there financially, We should have been offered automatic citizenship without no question, even including those of you that helped took that $2 billion over there to give to Ghana. You know what I'm saying? To contribute to the economics of their tourism economy, But yet, you got nothing from it. So now you back to square one. Still a slave here in America and still facing the retribution as what they call a crime of being black in America. You see what I'm saying? So, what did you gain from that? And this is even to those who go visit Africa, even on other individual basis, and you give your money to these people. And that's that's the only reason they want you over there. And it's just like this brother, who went over there recently, to Liberia and went to just happily talking about how they showed so much love to him and treated him like a human being and all that because he was in Liberia and told him he was welcomed home and that was his home, then he was welcomed there anytime or whatever. But all that was because he had money, okay? Yes, of course. I'd have smiled in your happy ass face if I knew you was bringing some thousands over there, especially as a traveler or a tourist, or just coming over there to come over there. I'd have been happily glad to see your happy ass. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's just common sense, But in reality, hindsight, beside that, in reality, hindsight, they really don't want us over there. And in some cases, don't care nothing about your damn money. And will kill you at the quick of a dime drop, at the right given opportunity of time, out of jealousy because you bringing money over there or because you living fat over there off the land while it's many of them over there poor who could barely even get a bowl of rice or barely even get access to a glass of water. You know what I'm saying? And you think they ain't looking at that when you, as an American, whether you black or not, coming over there with that money, flashing dollar signs in their face? You know what I'm saying? And even trying to be all bravado or even arrogant while you doing it. You know, and I heard even over recently ago that it was some black Americans who was over there in Ghana attempting to actually purchase some land, and I think they did purchase that land. And however, the Ghanaians got a hold to them and killed them. You know what I'm saying? And see, the only reason why a lot of them, some of the Americans who do end up going over there, and I'm talking about black Americans particularly, who do go over there to the continent, is because, and don't end up killed, is because their money actually is what saves them from their early, grave destination or their early destination to the grave. You see what I'm saying? Their money is what saves them from that. Other than that, them Africans could less care about you, period. You see how they show their true colors when they come over here as immigrants among us to America. When they come over here as immigrants to America, you see how they show their true colors, especially in them bigger cities like Detroit, where I'm from, where they even, form their own communities and don't even want black Americans being a part of their communities. You see what I'm saying? So, and this happens, I'm sure, in other major so-called urban cities throughout the country. It's no secret. I mean, I experienced them profiling me when I was in New York City, even in Atlanta. Wondering if I was going to be one of those Pookie and Ray Ray type or stereotype blacks in America that was going to snatch one of them, bootleg purses off their table or something, you know? So, I mean, I know, you know what I'm saying, how these people are. I've had close encounter experiences with them enough to know that if you went to Africa without money, you will have a serious problem over there. And like I said before, you really are just surviving. Basically, when you go over there with money, you really surviving by a thread because your money is what's keeping you alive over there. Other than that, they'll still kill you anyway, like I said. Just like I told you about them black Americans who purchased some land over in Ghana and they still got killed. Them people over there is struggling. And the last thing they want to see is some happy ass Negroes coming from America, especially ones flashing dollar signs in their face. You know? knowing that what you talk about, far as the reason going over there is really not in your heart, because you really over there trying to get at their resources, just like the Asian and just like the Caucasian white man is. So you ain't no damn different from the Caucasian, European, nor the Asian, and even the American Caucasians that go over there and benefit off the resources of their land. So like I said before, you are definitely no different to them, and especially with you being from America. Now, with that said, I just wanted to mention too that going back to where I started off at in this video. Hold on for a second. Let me take a couple of zips of this. Okay, back to you, fam. Okay, anyway, what I was saying once again is that, you know, and like I was saying before, furthermore, is that with this situation is what's going on with us as Black Americans, that we are very disrespectful and ignorant when it comes to, you know, you know, cohabitating among ourselves. You know, we're very disrespectful and we don't know how to talk to each other. We don't even know how to embrace each other, let alone just using a simple word called greeting. You know, we don't even know how to do that. We don't even know how to, you know, talk to each other. We see one another, especially on the streets or somewhere. You don't even have to know the next dark skinned soul person, and you ready to blow their head off, or you ready to rob them, or you ready to kill them, you know, or you ready to do something to them harmfully, or just because you don't like the way they look, because of the type of clothes they wear, the color clothes they wear, because of how they hat turned, to some other ignorant stuff like that, or because they from another geographic location or another neighborhood in the same city you live in, or because they from another state and all this other type of ignorant stuff, you know, or because you know what I'm saying, they don't share your beliefs, you know, or your you know, ideology and so forth and on, you know what I'm saying? So you got that animosity to the point where you can't even you know cohabitate with them in a social manner, to where, you know, other than, you know, getting violent or aggressive. You know what I'm saying? And so this is the attitude that people like you in the pro-Black conscious community, as well as in the Pan-African community who still share that same mentality, like the rest of the 44 million of us as Black Americans, would want to do, is go over there to Africa with that type of mentality so you could simply get slaved by them Africans over there. Because see, look, you people talk about you know, us as indigenous Black Americans being on the brink of extermination in this country where we're at here in America. Okay, now of course I don't minimize that possibility whatsoever, of course. But I'm gonna tell you something. You go over there to Africa with that same crazy Negro ignorant mentality, or like some would say in the street sense, that same niggified nigga behavior, nigga, you know, stupid stuff that you be on here in America, they ain't gonna play with you. They gonna kill you. And it ain't gonna be nothing anybody could do about it. And won't nobody care either. And plus, them countries, a lot of them countries over there got their own laws. Just like any other country, including the United States, they ain't got the answer to nobody for nothing. You know, when it comes to certain things, as far as killing people, okay? So, you know, and they can have all the justifications that, you know, justify why they did whatever they did. And it ain't no different over there on the continent of Africa. Just look at what's happening over there, where they killing their own people off over there. That's been over there for who knows how long, in Liberia, the Congo Republic, Somalia, South Sudan, you know, Nigeria. You know what I'm saying? We don't even know if any of them people have even been brought to justice in a lot of cases over there, far as the killing of their own or the slaughtering of their own people, like what happened in Rwanda, you know what I'm saying, over 20 some years ago, you know? So like I said before, and including not to mention not to forget that other country over there that had a lot of upheaval going on, and I think they still do, Zimbabwe. You know what I'm saying? You go to them countries over there, you know, you get killed even by a citizen. Like me and someone on the last platform I was on was saying that person might not even do nothing but 2 years in jail. Well, over here, at least you got you got a chance of hopefully seeing someone who done killed a member of your family ending up in prison for the rest of their life, or even possibly being sentenced to the death penalty. You see what I'm saying? But in other countries, that's not that's not always the option to look forward to when you want to see justice for those who snuffed out one of your loved ones or something. So you want to go over to Africa with that same Negro mentality. Well, that's what you're gonna be met with. You're not gonna have your family members killer tried before a court with a 12 jury trial, even though there's a lot of inconsistencies in that discrimination wise, as far as in this country, but it's still structured more differently. You still got more structure in this country, even when it comes to the law, than you would in many places, especially over like in Africa. So like I said, you talking about going somewhere to anywhere where we don't even know nothing about. We don't know nothing about the customs. Like I was telling somebody before, you might. Why would you even want to subject your wife or your children over there, where in countries where they cutting off the spur tongue of women, you know, because it's some type of cultural customary thing. But you say those are your people. That's where you want to return back to. So you may have to have your wife or your children, your daughters being subjected to stuff like that. You see? So, I mean, you talk, but then you have that ignorant mentality already over here as being a nigga, and you bringing that over there to Africa. Oh, they would kill you over there. And like I said, I've even heard where Africans have wanted to kill a number of black Americans, but it was only their money that saved them from losing their life. It was because of that American currency. You know what I'm saying? And they don't care nothing. And this is why, and even when I was like y'all in the pro-black conscious community where, I was acting on emotions and saying, well, black people need to just get out of America and do this and do that. Well, no, that's not necessarily so. Because if you go over there, especially not knowing the laws or the customs of these countries, you know what I'm saying? And then you going over there with that Negro mentality, not knowing what type of risk you're going to put yourselves or families at, you know, you might as well just stay over here in America and keep being a nigga, and that's just that simple, you know, because over there, that's a whole nother different ball game, that's definitely a whole nother different ball game. They not going to play with you over there. You talking about 44 plus million of us? Yeah, we all 44 plus million may be destroyed quicker than the way that the Caucasian European may be planning on exterminating us in the tens of millions over here in America. Them Africans wouldn't hesitate to finish us off. They really wouldn't hesitate at all to finish us off in that manner, And to be honest with you, me personally, I'm just saying me personally because at this point, on this note, it's my opinion. But I say if it was millions of us right now to go to Africa and they slaughtered millions of us, the first thing I'll say is good riddance to rubbish. Because that's how I look at a lot of you niggas anyway. Flat out. You know what I'm saying? Just like the prophet of truth said, a lot of you ain't no good for nothing anyway. You ain't good for yourself. You ain't good for nobody. So when you dead and gone, people will less care and won't even think about it. You know, and that's as simple as that. You know, but far as going to Africa and going over there with that mentality, you know, you definitely wouldn't stand a chance of being you know what I'm saying, you know, in one whole piece with that mentality, the way you talk to each other here, you know, the way we call each other out of our names, just little stuff, you know, the way we, you know, the way we degrade each other, you know, the way we even treat each other over here as families is very, you know, terrible and degrading. You know, because over I do one thing I do know about them Africans, because I've dealt with some here on the state side, and I've actually had a chance to go around them and be in private with them in their homes and see how they live culturally within their homes. In the same, one of the same basic, you know, customs that they practice is when everybody walk in the door, you know, you take your shoes off right at the door. And then you walk around, and if you got a couch in the living room, you walk around. I have it set up and you shake everybody's hand that's sitting down or wherever they sitting at until y'all done shaking everybody's hand that's sitting down. That's how they do it in those cultures over there in Africa. And that shows even a sign of tight knitness with those who are family orientated in those cultures over there. And this is the reason why black people from America would not be able to, you know, become acclimated with those societies over there, because those societies over there practice certain cultural ways of being close knit and being more respectful and being more tight knitted, you know, when it come to families and stuff. And so it would definitely be difficult for black Americans over there to acclimate it with that type of situation, which would cause conflictional problems, especially with the natives that are already over there, you know. I would say that you know, you have to understand and realize that we have definitely no chance of making it over there. You know, as a matter of fact, I'm gonna be honest with you, and it wouldn't be too many of us to fit in those countries, even in a black Caribbean part of the world like Jamaica, you know, Haiti. And I know some of you would say, who wants to go to Haiti? But I'm just throwing that in there anyway. Places like the Bahamas, the Barbados, you know, even in, you know, and stuff like that. We wouldn't even survive in those countries because those people still got codes that they strictly go by, and that ain't to be broken. And like I was talking about on the other panel the other night, you know, last night, is that those codes that usually those islanders like from the Caribbean and from Africa have maintained for so long as a group of people, as groups of people, the black Americans don't even maintain any of them kind of codes. This is why we're even looked upon as outsiders when it comes to any dark-skinned group of people in the planet Earth, because of the fact that we was totally stripped of our culture or any type of culture that we came from or that we had prior to slavery. We was totally stripped of that. So, it's like they definitely do, you could see the reason why, and I'm not saying it's right, but you could definitely see the reason why they look at us the way they look at us is being basically Europeans that's covered in chocolate. And basically they're right, you know, even with labeling us like that. They are correct, you know. I mean, you can't fight against the truth. That's one thing we can't do. We cannot fight against the truth. No matter how much we don't like what somebody say, when it's true, it's just true. And sometimes you just got to bite your tongue and just, even if you don't agree with it, you just got to bite your tongue. And because you can't fight it. You really can't, you know? And like I said, basically, honestly, to tell you the truth, like I said, a lot of these so-called American Negroes, if they did go to Africa, even under that so-called Pan-African uh, construct crap, they would probably lose their life because they don't know how to talk to people. They don't know how to, they don't even know how to address people. And they are just as more worse than the racists in that manner. And of course, because that's who our people learned that type of behavior from. But, once again, we can't keep making excuses either for the ignorance that we, act out in as a people. We cannot keep being exclusive, or making excuses for our ignorance, and being the wretched, Negroes and demonstrating the wretched nigger behavior that we demonstrate. We cannot keep doing that. Far as making excuses for that. We can't keep making excuses for that. And that's really, being played out like a broken record, to be honest with you. So like I said before, we got to really understand that. And if we can't understand that, then oh well, That's the only thing I could say about that, Because at the end of the day, black people are more responsible. I'm talking about indigenous black Americans here in the United States is more responsible for our destiny in whatever path we are going to go on, or whatever path we're going to go on as a people, or carry out as a people toward our, existence here in America. It's on us. It's not on slave master. It's not on the races. It's not on nobody. It's on us to take control of our destiny. And however we take control of that is how it will lead us to wherever type of future we're going to be. And hopefully that should be being a liberated people for once and for all after over 400 years of slave-like, living conditions that we still find ourselves in this country as 44 plus million indigenous black Americans are concerned, And I must also say too that at the end of the day that is many of us in this country, you know what I'm saying, that have so much hatred for each other that we can't even talk about it because it's so internal. When you have hatred and dislike for something so much, and it's so much ingrained within your heart and soul to the point where you can't even talk about it or explain it, that's a real problem. And that's what's happening, like it has been for almost 500 years among the so-called Negro American. So, I must say that, because I'm getting tongue-tied and I'm getting tired, as you could probably hear in my voice. But I'm just saying that, basically, we need to wake up because that type of thinking would definitely get us quickly exterminated, you know, in Africa. That would definitely expedite our extinction as a people in the continent of Africa more faster than it would over here in America if we were actually to go over there to Africa in the millions, and so that's, even like I said earlier in the video, that's a message clearly being put out to those of you in the Pan-African community and the pro-black Pan-African community, or whatever else you want to call yourselves, that so much want to claim Africa and its resources even before you claim its people, and all this other good stuff. But like I said, this is this is what you will be dealing with in Africa, because they not gonna put up with your ignorant mess. They gonna just wipe you out. You ain't got to worry about them putting you in no, or rather say mass incarcerating you, building prisons and putting you in mass incarcerations. Matter of fact, in some of those countries over there, they don't even believe in that type of stuff. You don't probably, in some of those countries, you probably don't even have no prisons at all. You might have one jail that house so many criminals or whatever, but you don't even have no prisons or no type of institutional setups like that for them to mass incarcerate they population, you see. So, a lot of them countries, they don't even get down like that. So you wouldn't have to worry about that. All you would have to worry about is being put in front of a firing squad and letting the police or the army have at it with you. And that's how they're in your, existence, and won't have no problem doing it in a quick of a heartbeat, because that's how, that situation would be, especially with the mentality that the so-called American Negro got, taking it over there. You wouldn't last. And as a matter of fact, I've actually, back in the day when I used to associate with a lot of people from the Caribbean, some used to tell me that, a black American couldn't go down there, with that mentality. You know what I'm saying? Like they got here. Even far as the criminal mentality of black Americans. They wouldn't even survive like that in places like Jamaica. So I definitely know they wouldn't be able to go over there to the continent in Africa and think they could just be criminals and thugs and stuff, and you know what I'm saying, and dope dealers and pimps and prostitutes. You know what I'm saying? They get snuffed out in numbers faster than what we think, because like I say, They wouldn't even, them Africans wouldn't put up with that foolishness. And plus, they already got their own problems over there. And they not finna allow us to come over there to add on to those problems. So, like I said before, that's the situation with that. You know, they would not allow us to come over there to add on to the problems they already got. As societies and populations over there are concerned. So your best shot, if you're gonna be a nigga, just stay in America. Cause they ain't gonna put up with it, people. They're not. And with that said, cause I'm getting tongue tied, and as you could once again hear my voice, I'm getting tired. Cause I gotta get up and and get on with the rest of the day. So with that said, I send my peace and greetings out to those of you in social media land that will watch this video once it's posted, and I send my shout outs to brother number one soul brother Angel Snup Snup 7 Talik Ibn Rod, aka Talik Ibn Rod, and also soul sister Noble Levine. And I also send my shout outs to Sister Karen, and also to Sister Tangi, and also to Sister Noble. And I have to include another sister, Sister Ingrid. And with that said, family, I'm out of here. Peace.